Hello chaps, I welcome you to a new video. Today we are in The Rising Night. You could say that a new video has risen before the night. Spirit, kill me for this. I swear to god this was horrible. Anyways, let's get right into it, shall we? The whole room goes silent. Seconds feel like entire minutes as the disappointment of each club member dampens the mood of the room. Even though what I said was true, I can't help but feel bad. Although I suppose there isn't much I could say that would remedy this situation without telling a lie. Begging Adam, I walk towards the clubroom door. Suddenly, Monika speaks up, stopping me in my tracks once more. So, Atazoth, I apologize if I'm asking this too late, but would you like to join our club? I hesitate to answer. There is no good way of getting out of this one, now is there? A little light sigh. How about this? I just need some time to think a few things over right now, so you'll know my answer by tomorrow, okay? I have to run now, sorry. Arr.
I knew it. It was clear from the start that he had no interest in this club.
That's okay.
Am I wrong? He didn't care to stay after a festival, and then he has the nerve to up and leave after just a few minutes of being here. If you ask me, he seemed like such a total jerk.
That's okay, I assure you, Atazoth's super nice. Maybe he's just nervous about joining.
If he was so nice, then why couldn't he just give us a clear answer? I bet you, he came for the cupcakes and left right after, just like the others.
That's okay. That's enough. I understand how you feel, but he's not like the others. He went out of his way to come and see us today, and I promise you he was interested in the club. Atazoth just needs some time to think this over, that's all.
Hmm.
Natsuki turns away from the group, grabbing her backpack by the closet.
Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Can't say the same for Atazoth.
Jeez, Natsuki, calm down. Was that 3 mouth animations for the sigh? Because if I'm unsure about it, looked really cool. Jacob, you talked to him earlier, correct? What did you think? About him, of course. He seemed fine, I guess. I'm surprised he even showed up today, if I was to be honest. Why is that? Well, it was a little hard to determine whether he's even interested in the club at first. When I talked with him, I was almost sure he wasn't interested in everything I had to say. It was like talking to a brick wall with him. But when I mentioned the club, he lined it up a bit. He seemed interested in our club. When I asked if he wanted to join, he just kinda said, I don't know. That's not what he said to me, too. I see. If you ask me, I'd say your theory about him could be just about right. Hmm, I guess that's about what I was expecting. Thank you, Jacob. With her answer supposedly satisfied, Monika walks over towards one of the desks in the front of the room. So, do you believe he'll join the club? I look over to Yuri, who I'm surprised didn't already take her leave yet. Unfortunately, I can only offer up a light shrug in response. There really isn't any telling that he'll be back at all, but I can't deny that there is always a chance, I guess. Yuri nods in understanding before heading out herself. I think we should start leaving soon as well, sorry. I have quite the amount of homework that needs to be finished. Right. I'll see you tomorrow, Monika. Okay, she looks really upset. Bye, you too! Monika stays behind in the club as Sarah and I take our usual walk home. Okay, this is Atazoth. Today was a real long day, huh? Work, school, that club. The only time I've left for myself now is now in the dead of midnight. That's not including the mere 45 minutes I spent in that detention room, of course. I was doing schoolwork the whole time. Productive day, at least. Hmm, maybe I could treat myself to a little TV before I head to bed. Assuming anything worth a shit's on, that is. I grab my towel of the polo it rests on, using it to dry myself off. Once I'm adequately dried, I put on the pair of clothes I'd waiting by the sink. I take the remote for the TV and begin aimlessly switching through the channels. The news, some crappy reality show, ads, whatever the hell this kids show, TV show is. I cannot read. Why did I even bother? I leave the TV playing whatever damn channel I left it on and fall into my bed. What is there to do tomorrow? School? Homework? Housework? Work? If I do my homework at lunch, I could buy myself some alone time tomorrow. I could, look around my room searching for anything of interest. Nothing. Whatever, I'm sure I'll figure something out. After a few more minutes of staring at the ceiling, I decide it's best to just go to sleep. I grip the remote, shutting off the TV. But that's when I notice my desk lamp's still on. Damn it, I really don't feel like getting up right now. Another few minutes go by before I finally give in and reluctantly pull myself out of bed. Reaching the desk, my hand hovers over the switch to turn the lamp off. I recognize one of the books I picked up from the library. I think I started reading it last week. It's hard to remember. I take the book, flipping to the page I left with a fold on the top right corner. Page 22 of the first chapter. I haven't even finished the first chapter yet. Scanning a little further into the book, I come to find that I'm just a few pages short of reaching chapter 2. Guess it couldn't hurt to catch up. As I read, I slowly start to realize what's the plot been building up to this whole time. At first I thought it was a little tacky with the romance, and by extension a little hard to read, but after finishing the first chapter the story took a complete 180 into some depressive territory. It makes me wonder what kinds of narrative poems those club members could write. I close the book firmly, push it to the far side of my desk. Why do I care so much about this stupid club? I bet it's because of all the guilt tripping they do to me. Otherwise I probably wouldn't even care for that place. It's not like there's anything I like there. My mind goes blank for a moment. I subconsciously begin to take back each of those thoughts I had about the club. Almost as if two sides of me were split apart, each fighting for control. It's sort of like I'm nothing more than a spectator in my own body, just going with the flow. I'm unable to do any more than stare blankly at the ceiling, the tension in my throat growing more and more by each passing second. What a weird feeling. After a while, I can't help but spot a loose sheet in a stack of paper just on the side of my desk. I stare at it for a moment, eventually deciding to pull it from the stack and in front of myself. If I don't know, I suppose there's no way to find out. I take a pen from my bag, my hand now hovering over the blank sheet of paper. There's no telling whether it really was the guilt tripping or not, but one thing's for sure. If I ever want to understand this mess, maybe I will just have to give it all a shot. Ah, nice. Night. It was already night. It was literally midnight. He should be waiting down the hall to the left, sir. Hands in pocket, I scan each and every one of the damn room numbers. Eventually, I see the number that woman at the front told me about and head inside. Staring right back at me is one of my own guys. Looks like his ass is covered head to toe in bruises, with a cast around his hand to boot. Hey. He fails to respond, staring at me like I'm some sort of ghost or something. Clearly, he's too beaten up to give a damn response. You answer back whenever I address you, got that? Hey. What's that? Couldn't hear ya. Hey, sir. I said hey. My jaw's still sore. It's a little hard to speak. I take one of the chairs, setting it right beside the hospital bed. In my best attempt at a hushed voice, I decide to get this question rolling. So, how about you explain to me what the hell is going on? Who the hell else knows about this, and what did you tell the police? You see, you better answer me quick or I'll smell it, you worse off than the other four. Now get a move on. Don't talk so loud, man. The walls in here are too thin. They'll hear you if you keep that voice up. Nah, whatever. Look, I didn't tell those cops a thing. There's nothing to worry about. Those cops are the least of my concerns right now, damn it. But he said... I took a moment to breathe in an attempt to calm myself. Look, I want to know why the hell all five of you turned up almost beaten to death. The deal by the station, it was a trap, sir. A trap? By who? I don't know. What the hell do you mean you don't know? Really, I don't... Is everything alright in here? Yes, everything's fine. Nurse shoots us an awkward glance before exiting the room. Damn it, this really isn't the best place to be asking these questions, but there's only so long I can stand by and wait when five of my guys turn up in the hospital after two were arrested just days ago. Besides, there is no telling how long they got before the authorities find out what they were really there for either. Now you're going to tell me who did this, you got that? Just tell me what you know. When I say I don't know, I mean I don't know. They're not a part of any family I know of. So how many were there? I'm not sure. I only saw one of them. Only one of them? Yeah. I doubt it was just him, of course. Although it's not like I saw anyone else in the area, so who knows? All five of us were armed and were watching different parts of the station to make sure no one popped in on us. But the only thing I remember is turning my back on the bar for a second and seeing the two next to him already down on the ground. I'm sure this isn't the work of just the one guy, and I just can't understand why they want to be so incognito about it. It just doesn't make any sense. You know, there's another thing that's been bothering me. How come you got out basically unscathed yet the others didn't? Well, you see... Standing just away from where the deal's taking place, I take a much-needed piss behind some bushes. Man, I hate when we go for deals this late. And to hold it in until I got back, but it's taking so damn long. If this goes on for any longer, we're going to have to delay the next meet even further. At that point, we might as well count ourselves out of a whole buyer. There's no way the boss would be happy with that. Oi, did the guy settle on a price yet or what? Hey, you guys hear me or what? The nerve of some people. I pull up the zipper on my pants, grabbing my bat off the floor. Afterwards, I turn away from the bushes, walking back over to where the deal's taking place. You guys get ears or what? Huh? On the floor lies the bodies of two of my buddies. The buyer nowhere to be seen. What the hell happened here? I don't know where they lie. You're right, man. Hey! His arms are clearly dislocated, with a massive bruise on the side of his head. I shake his body, but it seems he's already unconscious. Damn it. Suddenly I hear what sounds like a thud to my left. That's where the other two should be. I quickly raise my bat over my shoulder with both hands, looking towards the direction of the sound. Hey! What's going on? No response. Answer me already, I'm tired of this silent bullshit. No response. Guess I don't have much of a choice. I begin to walk over to where I heard the noise, checking my front and back at all costs. It's clear that the others were ambushed. But by who? This is supposed to be a secure deal. We had two people scouting the area, and the very case out that someone decided to stick their fucking noses where they shouldn't be. So where the hell are they? And where the hell are the other two? I continue walking towards where I heard the noise. Check my left and my right over and over. My hands remain firmly gripped on the bat, but my briefing's all over the place. Whatever, as long as I can beat the motherfuckers to death, that's all that matters. After a few more steps, I can finally see the others. What? I stop in my tracks, my face frozen in shock. They got taken out too? What? How? When there's no one around? Where are they? You let your guard down. Huh? Gah! A sudden punch to the side of my head knocks me down to the ground. Who the hell are you, and what happened to the others? The guy kicks me back to the ground, pushing his shoe deep into my skull. You're loud. Get off me! You can use to press my head into the pavement further before finally speaking. I need you to answer a few things for me. So you ready to talk now? Or are you going to run away like last time? Last time? The hell does he mean by that? Fuck you! That wasn't a request. He stomps his foot onto my left hand, causing a sharp pain to sting through. I try to move my hand, but I can barely manage even the slightest of movements. Is it broken? The man flips some coins which land just beside my head. It lands tail side up. He lets out a sigh. Unlucky. No, well, you can shake the stubbornness of a hardened street criminal after all. His voice. It sort of seems familiar. I just can't tell from where. Look, assuming the others aren't already dead, you can just join them in prison after we're done. So how about you stop wasting my time? Wait, I think I know. Is that same guy we ran into at the other deal a couple days ago? The same guy. Yeah, I'm sure of it. It has to be. From what he said, it's clear that this wasn't some attack by a rival family, which begs the question who this guy is even more. And what exactly makes you so sure is that guy happened to cross us twice? He might have been alone on the deal last week, but there's no way you could take on all 5 of you alone. I still don't know if he was actually alone or not. All I know is that he's the only one I could see or hear out at the time. Fine then. Were you able to make out any details about this guy? Well, the area we were in was pretty dark, so my details might be a little off. But I was able to see that he had white hair and maybe a little over average height. He had some cloth covering his lower face, and his eyes weren't visible enough for me to notice any color in them. The only other thing I could say is that he sounded very uninterested in being there, but I was so confident that he knew exactly how to get what he wanted. Right after I answered his question, he knocked me out without even the slightest warning. I see. Those details aren't really all that useful. I've seen my fair share of guys with white hair in this type of work. Oh, and I'm sure he couldn't have been older than his early 20s or so. What? Yeah, surprised me too. Maybe some new guy in another family or something, I don't know. You mean to tell me it was some kid who took you all out? Not exactly. I still don't know who took out the rest of... Even if there were others, you still got taken out by him. Am I correct? Yes, sir. Ugh. God damn it. How does some kid get the jump on one of my guys so easily? They're so fucking useless. I need to let the chairman know about this ASAP. Knowing that there's likely some group out there targeting us is concerning, to say the least. Let alone how some newbie of all people is the one giving us these issues in the first place. Oh yeah? How are the others doing? I don't know. Unfortunately, I was only allowed to visit you. If I had to take a guess, they're probably at least alive. Ah, that's good. The sun opens again, revealing an officer. What does he want? You, sir, what's your relation to this man? Relation? He's just a friend of mine. Met him at a cookout once. Is that a problem? No. Unfortunately, something's come up and we're going to have to cut visiting hours short. Oh, what might that be? I cannot disclose that information, sorry. Right. I'll be on my way now if that's the case. Thank you for your understanding, sir. You get better now, alright? See ya. Leaving the two behind, I make my way down the hall. Well, seems he screwed himself on this one. At best, they might just want to pick up some information out of him now that he's feeling better, but I doubt that, especially if they wouldn't disclose the reason. I pull out my phone and dial the number for headquarters. Oh, you again. Make it quick. Sorry, sir, but I need to request another meeting. It's urgent. Urgent, please. I thought I told you not to have already cleaned that up before you even thought of calling again. I know, I'm sorry, but this problem's much greater than I originally thought. I need to talk to you about this in person. Another shot's fine, but make it quick. Sir, can you hear me? Wait. While you're ready, grab me another pack. This one's already run dry. Yeah, they will be fine. Sorry, you were saying? I was saying that I need to discuss an important issue with you as soon as possible. Oh, right. Would you mind elaborating why I should care? Because we might be getting targeted by them. Tsk. My schedule's a little busy, but if what you said is true, I'll expect to see you in the office in 2 hours. Understood. Thank you. However, if this is another over-exaggeration, well, you're smart enough to fill in the blanks. Of course, I assure you what I have to say is very important. Good. I'll be expecting you then. 2 hours, huh? I'm not actually sure if they're involved or not, but it seems to catch his attention regardless. It will be a pain in the ass to explain away, but I'm sure I can think of something. I should get the time on my phone. Huh, perfect. Well, I'll think of an excuse I can go around real quick. He should be getting off of his little office job soon, so I should pay him a little visit. Interesting. Tuesday, 2:42 p.m., so I presume club time. I stare at the clock on the wall, aimlessly kicking away at my pen as the minutes roll by. The teacher continues his lecture as usual, but I tune him out, and I chose this class for an easy math grade anyway. My head resting in the palm of my left hand, I feel myself nodding off slightly. Whatever, only 20 minutes or so until the end of class, I'm sure it won't hurt to take a short nap. Closing my eyes, I carry the top half of my face as to not make it obvious. But I needed this right about now. I slept until what, 2 in the morning? That makes it about 4 hours of sleep I got in total last night, give or take. If I didn't stay up right in the narrative poem, I could have saved myself the extra hour. I'm not well versed in all the science behind sleep, but one thing I do know is that every hour counts. Although I might as well call it an hour wasted, that poem came out shit. I know how I ever expected to join a literature club if that is the best I could do. The sudden noise of something knocking on the center of my desk alerts me, causing my body to jerk back slightly and my eyes began wide open. Centimeters away from me is my teacher, who looks displeased. I know it's almost the end of class, Atazoth, but I need you paying attention. My eyes drift towards the clock briefly. 5 minutes, that wasn't very long. Sorry, just that a headache is all. I assure you through closed eyes, so I'm still paying attention. Do you need to see the nurse? No. My teacher slowly nods while returning to the front of the room. I can sense an application of sarcasm in its movement. This is gonna be a pain in the ass. Once by the board, he erases some problems they were working on before replacing with something similar. Alright then. So, Atazoth, would you mind answering this question you for me? Guess he shouldn't have expected to be let off so easily. The sound of the bell marks the end of another school day. I, of course, wasted no time leaving the dreaded classroom. Although now that I'm in the halls, I internally debate my next move. Am I really going to the club when this thing is all I have to show for? I look down the hall, then to the exit of the school. Students weave around me as I stand idly in the center of the hallway. It's as if an invisible weight is holding my body, namely my chest in plates. I stand still, plagued by this seemingly simple decision. My head turns back towards the school exit, then down the hall once more. Turning my body against the wave of students, I make my way down the hall. Each step trudges by slower and slower as I approach the clubroom. There is only one way for me to understand this. After a few minutes of walking, I finally reached the club room. My eyes drift downwards, my hand hovering just above the door now. It's as easy as just walking in, right? I don't know. I really need to understand this. Suddenly I hear footsteps coming in my direction. Huh? Hey, so you came back after all. Retracting my hand from the doorknob, I look up to see Jacob staring right back at me. He looks surprised to see me, and I don't blame him. I'm just as surprised as him. So you decided to join the club? Yeah, you could say that. You're not of us? No, just thinking of whether I'll be able to keep up with you guys is all. Keep up with us? What's so funny? You don't have to worry, man. Truth is, I'm not much of a literature buff myself. Really? You seem to know what you were doing with that poem you presented at the festival. It was certainly better than anything I could ever make, that's for sure. I say that having heard only a part of the poem he presented, maybe I didn't fully grasp the symbolism then, but working on the poem made me realize this type of thing isn't as easy as it looks. Huh. That's only because I've been in this club for about a month now. Before then, the most I've ever read was manga or whatever the heck my teachers assigned for our class to read. You could say this club changed my entire outlook on this kind of stuff. Look, you'll fit in fine, trust me. Jacob moves in front of me, promptly opening the door to the club room. Hey, Ron, the new member is here. Huh? Hey, Jacob! Hey! I stand frozen in the center of the doorway as each of the members stare in my direction one by one. Guess there is no turning back now, or at least there isn't if I don't make things awkward. Atazoth! And well, as Sayori screams, this is where I will end it. I hope you all enjoyed the episode. Press like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.